Hey guys, I had something very cool that happened, and I want to show it to you guys, so maybe you guys could kind of use it for your own projects. Let me show you guys what I have here. This is an embryo from a sweet tart right here, a sweet tart right here, and a Delores right here. Looks like they're all poly, right? And the lowest I wasn't sure was poly, but it looked like a mono seed for me in the beginning, but it's definitely poly. Here's two root system. So just for you guys who want to know, this might be the next hyped, every year there's a hyped mango that goes around. This might be the next hyped mango for 2026, but we'll get back to this one and we'll get back to the laws in a bit. Let me kind of go and talk a little bit about some of these other ones right now. So these came from Sweet Tart, and the fruits were about, say, the size of an apricot, right? So they were definitely not mature fruits. They were definitely immature fruits, but they were kind of yellowing up. They were about to drop, so they weren't like nubbins where there's no embryos in the seed husk. They were fruits that the tree itself was just kind of self-thinning. It happens often enough, especially when you have clusters of fruit where it just doesn't hold all of it, right? So some of them, they start turning yellow and then they would drop. So some of those, like, you could try to ripen them and they would turn color, right? They would turn yellow or whatever it is, but there's absolutely, most of the time, no flavor to any of it, right? Like maybe you get a hint of sourness or something like that, but that's about it. That's all you kind of get from them. So these were what they were. They were like these aborted sweet tart sweet tart fruits that I kind of had. I kind of put it on my counter, see if it would ripen, and amazingly, you know, they did ripe. Like they looked like they ripened, but they weren't edible, right? But the seed husk was very soft, which is an indication of a very immature mango, right? It didn't have enough time to sit on the tree, and it was just getting aborted. So the seed husk itself, the hard shell, was soft, like paper thin. Like you cut it like with a knife, and you can even bite into it and just rip it open, right? So when I took it out, they were like very, very white, pale white embryos, and I was like, let me just give it a shot, see what happens if it would sprout or anything like that. I was expecting it to just kind of rot away. I didn't expect any of it to sprout seeds. I expected it to rot, and amazingly, it sprouted. Look at this, and it's kind of turning this green color. I think I had it in the Ziploc bag for long enough. I'm gonna probably put it into a container and hopefully see if it sprouts. Or if it finishes sprouting, sending out a shoot and everything. But that is the sweet tart right here. And here is the Delores. This one I was trying to sprout it just because I was kind of curious, and it's the first fruit I had. So this one was a larger fruit, a much larger fruit. It was just kind of knocked off by accident. It was very, very, very green. Like I said, the shell was even very soft, like the husk, the seed husk. I was trying to, at first I was trying to initially try to kind of peel off this brown coating because I wanted to see if it was poly or not anything. I couldn't really do it without damaging it, because sometimes when it's very immature seeds, it sticks so tough to it. So I just kind of sprouted anyway. I thought it was mono. It looked like a mono seed to me. Everything about it looked like a mono seed to me. And then here it goes. Here's two root system. So in case you guys want to know about Delores, because probably the next hype mango for us going into 2026. Every year there's like a new hype mango. This one might be it. Who knows? Or something else new might pop up in people's radar for next year. But I think this Delores variety, it's a Zill variety. Not much information out there until just recently from Tropical Acres Farms and for Fruitful Trees. But yeah, definitely a poly variety. So again, came from a very immature green mango with a soft seed husk. All three of this. So amazing that they sprouted. Very amazing that they sprouted. So just to kind of let you guys know what you can sprout with from your own trees. If you guys end up with like a green mango that either you accidentally knocked off or like just began aborting it by itself, I would just recommend getting to it earlier, I guess. So here it goes. Very cool. I thought this was very, very cool. I would have never guessed that this would have worked. Like, I would have guessed that most of these would have rotten away, but it did work. So I want to show you guys. I'm sure this would come in handy for some of you guys in terms of your own seed or project that you guys are working with. All right. Thanks, everyone.